Well, how likely is it that gold will crash? I don't know. I kind of doubt we're going to have that much of a pullback in some ways because there's several things going for it, and the metals have going for it in general. And just to review them, interest rates. Are they going to raise interest rates? Now, you'd have to see U.S. interest rates go up to like 3%. If they do, the bond market's going to crash first before gold, probably. But anyway, I know like Bernanke did a head fake back in December 2012 about talking about interest rates predicated on something happening in the economy where we had under 6.5% unemployment and we had over 2 or 3% growth. Then, and the inflation rate was low, then it would raise interest rates. But, it's predicated upon BS, but, he was playing a game there. That sent gold down a little bit more back at that time, too. Global growth. Global growth looks like horrible. In Europe, it's actually been under that. The PMI's been under 50. And in China, it's been over 50, but I think the numbers are major inflated. Jim Rogers and Mark Farber also talk about more slowdown in China. So the global growth is not going to be there. If global growth is there, people will move money into companies, equities, where they'll get returns from dividends, that they'll pay. The companies will pay them. They'll get out of gold. But the global growth is not there. The interest rates aren't going up. The Federal Reserve would have to begin shrinking its balance sheet this year. You know what? That ain't going to happen. How is the Federal Reserve going to unload all the stuff that's on their balance sheet? They can't. They can't. It's impossible. Really, think about it. They can't. And, they're just going to continue this game till the whole damn thing blows up. But, the other thing is, supply side. Now, the supply of gold, some people are saying the supply of gold is actually there. There's a adequate supply. But you know what? If you're looking at the miners, you're looking at what the miners are, how well they're doing. They're doing horrible. The gold and silver miners are losing money like crazy. So I'd have to say that the scenario for the metals is going on pretty good. But, I'm going to ad lib here a little bit. I was reading something about on Mitt Romney, like the other guy. Everybody forgot about him already. He's running he could have almost been president, right? But I didn't vote for him. I voted for Gary Johnson, actually, versus Mitt Romney or Obama. But just to ad lib here a little bit, Mitt Romney back in 2010 on his tax return, he said he had a checkbox. If you have an IRA, he had it down. It was between worth of $20 million and $100 million an IRA. You're wondering how the hell did he get that kind of money, right? And this does kind of dovetail into gold, because something that Lindsey Williams used to say, like everything that's on a piece of paper is going to go to zero. Yeah, I don't know. Some stuff probably, I don't know, government-backed paper, but not solid companies that are producing things that people need. But anyway, Mitt Romney's IRA was between it could be $100 million. It's between $20 million and $100 million. I can't imagine that going to zero at all, ever. But his actual rate of return he needed to have to get that kind of money, he started putting money in it in 1974, and initially, for the next almost 30 years, the most you could put in an IRA was $1,500 or $2,000. That was it. In 2002, they upped it to $3,000. You could put in up to $3,000. 2005, they upped it to $4,000 you could put in per year. In 2008, they put it up to $5,000. But so the bulk of the 38 years, though, he could only put $1,500 to $2,000. He would have had to get $20 million or $21 million. He would have had to do a rate of return for all 38 years of that IRA of 24.5% compounded every year. Just roll it over. And to get $100 million, he would have had to done a rate of return of 31%. Now, I want to kind of relate that to gold and silver, right? If you're getting, it's in 2010 or something, or 2011, there's a year, damn stuff went from 16 to 30 and up to 48, but basically it doubled really quick, right? Then you got a stagnant period. Gold and silver is probably, for at least one pitcher, maybe over the next few years, is going to give you a rate of return better than that 31%. Now, I know Romney, I don't know what he did, but somehow he got somewhere between 24.5% average return and 31% average return to get that kind of money in his IRA, whether it's 20 million or 100 million, somewhere in between. He had to have a rate of return like that. So when people in the gold and silver community, I don't know what he did. I mean, the Wall Street Journal explains what he did. They offer, hey, just rolled it over in other ventures and shit. And there's always a reason, But I have to say this, like, if you get a 50% or 75% gain on something, don't listen to these guys about keeping it forever. And it's going to come to that kind of stuff. 100% gain, maybe, I don't know where it's going to go, but don't go keeping it forever. Because you're not going to maintain those type of gains, man. Mitt Romney could. I don't want to pick on him too much because I'm sure Obama's got some kind of deal like that too. I mean, they all do. I mean, I don't want to play politics here, but it just goes to show you you're not going to do that. And you see, the people that are in the gold and silver are basically smaller people. Mitt Romney probably doesn't have like $100 million worth of gold and silver someplace stashed away. I doubt it. He might have a couple million or something, but not that much. Not 100 million. But he ain't going to lose all his money that's on a piece of paper either. But, on the other side of it, I have to say that the fiat dollar, it's been so strong for so long, and it's really because the euro is trashed out. I mean, really. Back in 2010, I think it was Soros and some other hedge fund managers in early 2010, they got together to make an attack on the euro, and actually the euro went down to like 121. That was about the lowest it was, I don't know, maybe ever. Just about, except when it first came out, But, that's probably what's going on here, too, because we basically have 4 primary major centers in the world. There's one around the United States, there's one around Europe, there's one around Russia, there's one around China. And they compete with each other. The way sometimes somebody gets ahead is to slam the other guy down. So there could be like elements in the United States looking to actually push the euro down as much as possible without the U.S. banks getting that much exposure. It could be something like that. But just to sum it up again about the gold deal, there's too many things that are bullish for it. Basically, they're not going to raise interest rates. They can't. I mean, they're talking about it a little bit, but it ain't going to happen this year. We're not going to have really good global growth because there's going to be even more of a slowdown in China. And like Europe, it's like really bad growth. They're not going to be able to unload the balance sheet on the Federal Reserve. That's going to be almost impossible. So forget about that stuff. They're just going to keep doing more QE. But I kind of suspect that there's a major media campaign out there to dissuade people from gold and silver. I mean, just as the silver gurus and the gold gurus kind of go overboard one way, don't trust the major media either. They're telling you like safety's in a fiat dollar. I don't think so. I don't think so. Don't trust bitcoins either. Just want to put that as a side note because I know it went up a lot and it's went up even more recently. I heard it topped 100. It was at 83 or something. Man, that's something you got to watch right there, man. I wouldn't be touching that shit with a 10-foot pole right now. If I had it and I get those kind of gains, I would have unloaded it. But also, when the gold and silver do go up, just don't be afraid to take dollars. I don't think the dollar's going to go away that fast. I just don't think so. That's the other extreme. Right now, there's an extreme going on right now where they're trying to dissuade people from gold and silver, but I don't think so. I think the Asians are going to buy this stuff up. And all the things, the one thing that can possibly really knock it down more is devaluation of U.S. currency. It doesn't seem like it right now because Europe's getting hit. But Europe can only get hit so much. And they're not going to knock out the euro because that's part of the elite's plans, right? There's like big people behind that. They're not going to knock it out completely. So, you might see the dollar taking a hit unexpectedly. Then the cheerleaders from the silver and the gold community will come out. But I'll be selling some PSOV when that when it goes back up, though. I'll be dumping that stuff. Won't be dumping coins till it gets at least $60. I want to see it clear 50 by far before I dump any coins. That'll be my plan, and I don't think we're gonna have too long of a wait here too. The unexpected seems to happen with gold and silver, and all the fundamentals. I mean, real fundamentals. I'm not talking about how many ounces are left on the earth and all this kind of shit. I'm talking about interest rates, what's going on with global growth, what the Federal Reserve is doing, and keeps increasing its balance sheet. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think? The only reason the dollar's going up is because the euro's going down. Dollar really ain't doing that great. So that's the reality behind it.